Good morning. I just need to pull up my chart window here. We will be trading the MES Z25 contract today. It is the December 2025 contract. It is FOMC day, so there's a bunch of stuff going on, so we should see a little bit of action today. And there is the opening candle. We are currently on the 15-minute chart. Okay, so we're just kind of watching this 15-minute candle form. There's no reason to be in just yet. There is an orders, or there was, it got blown through, but there was an order zone right there. But that got blown through, so all those orders are null and void. We have this area, or POI, up above here. So we're going to bring this in. I want to bring this down. There we go. Okay. There's our POI resting on that box. That's technically not an order zone. That is just technically an area of supply. So that's why it's just a point of interest until something happens. All right, so we're just kind of watching this. I'm on the 1-minute chart now. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart again. We could kind of argue that this might have been an area of supply that we just tapped into. It's not a very strong supply zone, only because the candle that it comes in on has a wick or two that already have gone into that, so probably a lot of the orders that were there were already taken out, or there's just institutional orders that are kind of floating price right there, which isn't really strong because it's not indicative of a direction or anything like that. So now that was a 15-minute level of supply, so I mean, I guess it does look like it was pretty legit here, given that we retraced But here we are back on the 1 minute. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I want to see one point per thing on my scale. If I had to guess right now, I would say London lows is kind of where we're heading. Okay. That was kind of wild. All right, so we're just going to kind of watch this here, see what happens. I did have a... Okay, well, that was odd. All right, I was just looking at there to see kind of what was going on here. Okay. I had a weird order rejection here. I don't know why. That's super strange. Looks like it was rejected on the CQG side. That was certainly strange. Wow. All right, so we're kind of watching it. So here's a little bit. Okay, so this is an order zone based upon this low right there. Okay, so based upon those lows right there, that is an order zone. I'm just looking something up here to make sure that my account is okay, because I did have an order reject, and it was a limit order, which was, I get why a market order could reject, but it was a limit order. So we'll have to figure that out sooner rather than later. let's see. Okay. It's kind of strange that there would be a hold on my account, but all right, we're just gonna kind of watch and see if it heads down to this level. Kind of looks like that's where we're headed. That would, to me, be a good place to start some long positions. Kind of looks like there's some orders resting in here. Kind of find it odd that now we're going back up here, finding some resistance. Wow. Alright, that was a good candle. Yeah, so that might have been an order zone. But that was just a tap into that. So there kind of probably was a lot of orders resting below there, given the amount that it turned around. I just didn't see it as a significant area because if you look, there are a couple lows and stuff below that. Oops. So those areas would have been more of interest to me, but we could get rid of those because those aren't the area that we're really interested in. But this did shoot right back up, so we are going to have to watch that and keep an eye on it at least a little bit to see where we're going to go from here. So I would imagine there's some orders resting above that highs. There's probably some orders resting in those zones that are above it. So it doesn't look like we're going to make it to the highs. Because if you look over at MNQ, this is an area where there's a lot of orders and some other stuff going on here, right where the cursor is. So I would imagine that the MES is going to follow the MNQ and kind of hang out in this zone for a bit here. Wow. Okay, well, that got blown through. Okay, so I am hopping over to the 15-minute chart. That is so you could see the two zones that I'm kind of interested in. Those are the two areas that I want to be active in. We could kind of scale into some of these positions and stuff. So just remember, this is not a service. I am not providing you with trade locations. This is basically for educational and entertainment purposes only. So just, keep that in mind. I will show you all the zones and the stuff, and I may show you some of my entries and exits, but the primary thing is not to be a service to, show you where to get in or out. Alright, so that doesn't look too bad. I am going to flick back over to the 1 minute here. Okay, so what we're going to do is, again, we're going to squish this bad boy down. I really got to get my 1 minute chart just to stay at a constant 1, but the problem is that I flick time frames to show you guys. So I would need to have that up on another screen, which doesn't really help you guys. So, all right, so we've taken out those highs. Okay. No, I don't have any trades on yet. I probably should, hindsight's 2020, should have gotten long in that zone. But I do believe that we're going to reach the zone above where we can then be short. So I feel like that might be a better trade. Okay, so we're just going to kind of keep watching this. We didn't get up to the zone that I'm targeting, and that's a 15-minute area of supply. That looks a lot cleaner. Hold on. I'm going to go to the 3-minute chart real quick just to see. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could say that we were but we blew through those highs, so that kind of didn't make sense. There is an old level there that I guess could have been an area of interest here that we did just break through and then fall through. But that was that 15-minute zone looks so much nicer than that high did. So, don't know. Alright, I will be right back. I just have to make a quick chat inquiry about one of my accounts and why my orders are being rejected by the routing service, CQG. So we are going to target that zone down below, and I will be right back. Okay, sorry guys, I apologize. Looks like TD Bank rejected it with. Oops. Sorry guys, I apologize. Looks like one of my withdrawal requests was denied, and they put a hold on my account because TD Bank had actually rejected it. So, and I've just noticed we are in freefall mode. Wow. Okay, so we cut through that zone like a hot knife through butter. We're going to bop on over to the 15-minute chart and see what is going on. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. Wow. Hmm. Okay, so I'm not sure why, but having orders rejected left and right today. Kind of crazy. I did have this short. I'm going to go back to the 1 minute here. I'm going to bring this back in. Let's see. Okay. Oops. I keep messing up on trying to make my drawing here. There we go. Nope, that was not it. Okay, so what we're going to do. Now we need to grab this. There we go. No. Okay, so. All right, so we're just kind of watching this, see where we might go here. Alright, so I'm going to make something for the TikTok page showing this level of demand and the zone right there. So you guys just gotta hang with me for a second here because there's really nothing to trade because we're kind of caught in no man's land. So here we are on the MES Z25. This is the December 2025 contract for the E-mini S&p 500. There is our order zone, and as you could see, we tapped into the order zone and then took out the high where the target is at 66.75. Yeah, 66.75.50. And but our tap into the zone was right there, and we quickly reversed at 66.65-ish. I mean, it might have been 66, but any tap into that zone is where we wanted to take our trade, and then that trade subsequently moved higher. Okay, so now we're back here. We have gone through that zone, but since we blew through that zone, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to extend it. Okay, so we're still watching here. We're waiting for this tap into the zone, and then that is where I believe I'm going to take a long. I am going to sit a order around the center line there, which is that dark gray line, and then I will market into the top when it touches. So I'll have 2 contracts. If it blows through, our stop loss will be at 66.53. So that's 3 points. So we would lose a total of about 5 points on the 2 contracts. So that'd be about $5 a point. And kind of figured out it's like $25 or something. So it's not on 2 contracts. If you need to scale into more, that's fine. You can scale 2 at the top, 2 at the center line. Then if it breaks that bottom line, and that's when you'll get out. So you could do 10 points of risk. You could do 15, or 15, that kind of thing. However you want to scale that. Okay, so we're still watching to see if we could get down to this zone here. Okay, so again, we're just kind of watching, trying to see what might be happening here. But really what I'm looking for is a touch of that zone. We're kind of consolidating in this area. Alright, so we're just kind of watching this price action again. We are on the 1-minute chart. I am going to go over to our 15-minute chart and take a look here. This gives us a better, bigger picture, as you can kind of see here. I just want to make sure it's not in the view of the camera, or my big head isn't in the way of the camera. So that zone is an area of interest. That is the wick. That is our London low, I believe, or maybe that's Asia low. I'm gonna have to relook at that, but it is our low point from it is our session, last night's session low. Let's put it that way. Which is kind of interesting. There looks like there's going to be orders. There should be a lot of orders resting below these lows right here. So right in this area now, we've had 3 touches of that area. So I expect us to either kind of reject here and head back up a little bit, or we're going to continue down and into that zone below where I intend to get active. The thing that I kind of don't understand why we're kind of popping back up here. Okay, so we're going to go down to the 2-minute chart. Pull all this stuff in here for you guys. That is okay. Yeah, so there are orders still resting below that, so now we're going to go back down to our trusty 1-minute chart. This is, I will pull this in dollar increments. That's just kind of how I like to see it, as in $1 increments. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the best way, but it's just how I like to picture the ES is in points. So I envision every point is $1 because it's 4 ticks per. So this contract trades at $1.25 a tick or $5 a point. So each dollar in the price on the right is equivalent to $5 in your pocket or taken out of your account. Either or, but it's $1.25 a tick. And fees are about $1. So my particular fees are about $1. So 1 tick does get me profit. So if I get out for break even, that would be 1 tick above. And I do trade on a live account. I don't trade on fundeds. I'm not a funded account trader. I have funded my own accounts. I don't trade prop firms. It's just a personal choice that I feel like if I only had $100 left, I probably could find something to trade where I could build that up. It may take me a ridiculous amount of time, but I feel like I could. So, if I had $1,000 that I was gonna try prop firms with or something like that, I would just put that into an account and trade small micros, 1 or 2 micros, and that's it. That's all I would do. I would probably trade the micro RTY or the micro Dow if I really had to pick. The MES moves in blocks, so it moves a little bit different. And what that does is kind of, if you get stuck going the wrong way, you could lose a little more. Where I feel like the
Here's what I found.
Thing might move in a more direct move. The Dow kind of does that, so it would be like the micro YM that I would trade. Some crypto futures too kind of move in that fashion, but the outlay, so like with margin and stuff for trading the MES, I only have to outlay $30 out of my account per se because of margin. Okay. Find out why. Hmm. Yeah, that would have. Man, this is just kind of chopping here. Okay, so all right, we're just kind of watching this, make sure it enters this area here where we will be long. Just kind of watching here, see if we are going to get down to this. So right now I'm only trading on one of my live accounts that is off up over here that you guys kind of can't see because it's off to the side. And I kind of just have it way off over there. Wow. Yeah, so we took this zone. So I can remove that. I can remove that. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. I am looking at what is it? US dollar, Tether, and Dogecoin. I do trade that kind of frequently as well, but right now I'm kind of concentrating on futures, but that is futures too. It's just not the same. There's another zone there. Okay. Let's see. So we still have that validation. So let's try this zone. Okay. We are going to see if that zone, that is, oh, that actually, actually is an, it's not really an order zone. No, it's not really an order zone. That's kind of just a supply area where I'm expecting to see a bunch of orders. Now we could blow through that zone and into the upper quadrant, but I don't know if that's really kind of how it would happen. Just kind of waiting in this area to see this low that we made right here is probably going to be a counterfeit low and not the low, because we should dip into that zone sometime today. I know we're working our way back up to the other zone. We'll see if that zone might be valid again. But I think that low is going to be a counterfeit low, so yeah, so I'm pretty sure that this low here will be a counterfeit low. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that that low will be a counterfeit low at some point today. So I'm gonna go grab my tea. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get my tea. Choked up. Oh gosh. I mean, you know, you don't think that fake gurus know that if they don't post losses too? I mean, I just can't see, because a guru posts losses, that makes them 100% legit. Like I don't, I don't buy it. So, but that's just me. You may find that different, but I don't. Yeah, so I believe this is a counterfeit low here. So here is our order zone down here in the gray. That yellow line that's on that candle that's highlighted right now, that is a I believe is going to be a counterfeit low, and it's going to be swept. I'm just marking that out, so if you wanted to use that as a target or I don't understand. Okay, I don't exactly know what I did, but it was bad. Bad good idea. Yeah, I don't know what I did, but okay. Okay, there we are with our volume profile. Um, okay, well, I'm still not convinced that this isn't going to take out this low. So I have to wait. Okay. Okay, so we're just kind of watching this. We're still just kind of bouncing around here, not really doing much of anything. So there must be a lot of orders resting right at that low. So we may not break through this low now. This may become. Yeah, see, we touched it, but we did not break through. Wow, this may become a protected low. Wow. Wow, that might become a protected low. That is crazy. Okay, gotta go back over to the 15. Wow, this may become a protected low right here. That's kind of crazy. I was not expecting that to become a protected low. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna change the color on this to kind of know that this could be a protected low here. So yeah, so we're just gonna leave that there. It's a different color. Normally I use yellow for. So now that may become a protected low for something to be targeted later in the day on, FOMC news and that kind of thing. So, something to keep in mind. I'd okay. So now we have cracked that low, and there we go. So I was correct in saying that that was a counterfeit low, which I kind of figured. So now we'll see if we have a reaction off of this low or if we can continue to move higher. This is the MESZ contract, which is the micro E-mini S&p 500 contract. You can kind of see the watermark there. That is what I'm currently trading. We have a order zone down below, and that is what I'm looking to get long from. Again, this isn't a signal service. I'm not selling signals or anything like that. I just show you where the zones are. You are free to do what you want, take your own entries and make your own money, or lose your own money, or lose prop firm money. Okay. So after taking this low right where the cursor is, we moved up sharply. Just kind of not what I was expecting. There is that area of demand, or yeah, demand, the demand zone, if you want to call it that. Down below is where I thought we could be targeting. Since we did not get there, let's go back to the 1 minute here. I want to see if we have a reaction right here where this zone was, so like basically around that center line, or if we just kind of blow right through it. That zone isn't really valid anymore because we had a touch and we blew through it. It's just an area where there could be a lot of congestion of orders that have already been filled at that price, so it kind of creates scenarios where break-evens or stops or other things could be placed. So we did not blow through the zone completely yet, but we pretty much got to the top. So that does make that zone pretty much invalid. It was already pretty much invalid when we made multiple runs through the zone in here, but zones can be tested a few times and like revisited, but that usually so we just touched the top of the zone and reversed. That's interesting. So again, the zone isn't really valid because we did get through almost the whole zone, but we didn't break it. So you could say that did trend to get a little bit different. I shift around a lot, sorry. Try and keep my head and body in the box, but I usually shift, I move, I do this, do that. Okay, so when I am flicking, you guys could see that. Alright. So let's see what happens here. That was a very interesting reaction right in this area here where the cursor is, but it doesn't really validate or invalidate anything for me right now anyway, because that zone had already been taken and stuff like that. It's just that sometimes when zones are revisited, it's because they are being trying to think. I can't think of the word. They're being tested. So again, so basically, what a lot of times happened is there was a lot of orders filled in that area. So sometimes it holds up in that zone or reacts off of that zone again because there's already been a lot of orders filled. So there could be like, new entries and things about that. Okay, so now we're coming back down. We do have some considerable movement going on here. It looks like volume has picked up, and there are a couple other things that seem to be going on here. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Man, this looks... So I kind of missed this because I was doing a lot of talking, but this is probably the zone that held that up, and that's why we ended up doing that. That kind of just, there's a lot of orders on that wick. But I did kind of miss that, so we're just gonna kind of watch here, see what happens. Kind of feel like FOMC may bring us higher now that I'm looking at the price action. It's kind of taking place here. I'm thinking maybe we have a shoot the moon kind of move and end up near 66.89. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. It is 11, so we do have some time. I do kind of think we have to go lower here. Wow. I'm just not seeing any way we don't get into the zone so that I could be long. Because that's where I think we're going, and I think we could ride this up pretty far during FOMC too. Because I feel like some of the stuff might be baked in already. So we might have something to trade off of or into, which would I'm still just kind of watching this. I think what I'm going to do is probably end the live at like 11:30 Eastern time here, and then I will come back on before FOMC so we could see what's going on there to trade that. Seems like yesterday I had I do trade. I trade right now. I'm trading the Dogecoin / US dollar Tether futures contracts. I have it up over there, off to the side. There's not really a lot of buying here. So MNQ is already in this zone that MES is not. So a little bit of divergence happening. I don't know if that's necessarily like a bad thing, but it is definitely happening. Oh wow, okay. Alright, so I was just looking at some of the requirements here. Some of the stuff, I guess it's kind of the FOMC cheat sheet that comes out. So, this is moving up now slightly. Let's see what we've got here. I mean, we're only up about, if we entered, would have been here. They're only up about 3 points from where I could have entered. So I'm not really sad that I missed that. Unless this goes all the way up to those highs up there, then maybe. But I don't feel like it's gonna. So now it's making me think that we might move up here ahead of FOMC and then move back down during FOMC if this move continues. I mean, obviously, if we don't break these this interim high like right here, then there's nothing to worry about or discuss really, because then it's just going to be moving back down towards the area and level, and that kind of, it won't matter then, because it will be moving back down into the level that I kind of would like it to move down to anyway. So let's see here. Trying to look. There was an update to fees, I believe, in August that I didn't see for, let's see, the 11. Okay, so exchange fee was 11. Okay, well, that was not stellar, but kind of doesn't matter. All right, so now we're getting a little bit of a sustained move here. So now, and I kind of have to rethink what is going on here. So this might be an area to short right here. So this here, so we're gonna see if this sweeps, and then if it does not, then we will take a short. So we'll wait till this candle closes, see if it sweeps. Okay, so there's that retrace here. All right, see if we can pick up a couple points. All right, so we move the stop. We're at break even. We'll adjust down. And we're probably going to get out. Well, we'll wait till the next candle. Okay, hold on. Now, if we come back up, now I lock in about a point of profit. So almost didn't get tagged yet. Okay, real close. Push down. One more push. Nope, nope, wrong way. Down. 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 It's not working. Up. We're going to go down. If I say up, will it go down? Say up. Up, 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 up. I actually want it to go down, but I'm just trying the opposite tactics. I don't have hold much hope for this trade here. I was trying to get 3 points, but I break down in here. Yep, and so we're taking out for about a point. Okay, well. Green is green, I guess. Not fantastic, but... And then now if this moves down, of course it does. Wow. Well, there would have been my take profit right down a couple more ticks. That's bad trading right there on my part. That would have been a good trade. I had the right idea to be short. This candle right here, I brought my stop too close and took 1 point instead of 4 or 5 actually now. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna kind of wait for this to move down here into that zone. I think at 11:30 I am going to call it with the live streaming. I will continue trading. I may come back for FOMC at near 2 p.m. It's crazy that went right to my target too. Wow, swept right through it. Wow, we came right to that. Wow, it didn't touch the zone though. Okay, let me just make sure. think we just touched the top of that zone. Wow, that was really crazy. That is wild. Now that would have been a spot to get long, so my orders are resting in the middle. Let's kind of see what happens here, if the zone breaks or does it break. I thought we might come down and touch that zone. And we moved right up off of there. I don't love that. Alright, well, I think I'm going to call it here today for the stream. Thank you everyone for joining.